up, you guys? This is Rob from GLYPH, and today on the Snapshot, we're going to be combining the mods from the Sacrifice quest alongside Nidus' newest augment to create one Insatiable Umbra. Now, as I had stated earlier, you can pick up the Umbra mods by completing the Sacrifice quest. However, for the Insatiable augment, you can pick them up from either the Parent Sequence or the Steel Meridian once you've reached rank 5 with them for 25,000 stand. Alright, so as you can see right here, I have actually gone ahead and gone invincible, I guess that's a word? I've become vulnerable in order to go ahead and show off exactly how this augment works. Now, as you guys already have seen in the previous video, basically what this ends up doing is you have a 60% chance to get an additional stack whenever you build stacks with Nidus, and of course you could do that many different ways. So right now, as you can see, we are just going and building. We've got 20 level 155 billies here, and already with each stomp that I'm putting out, we're very close to 50. So this is a great way to build up stacks really fast. And let me tell you, my own experience, oh my god, it's just so sexy. My experience with the gameplay in this, and look at that, we're building stacks. We're still continuing to build stacks even when we're not stopping. Well, we were a second ago, so let's go ahead and finish off some of these guys right here. But it's absolute insanity, as you can see right now. Let's go ahead and put another one down here. Are we gonna make it to, I don't even want to put down another one. Are we gonna make it to, nope, 97. Oh, so close. I was like, are we going to make it to 99 off of this? But as you can see right there, one of the great things that I love about this mod, and many of you guys have heard in the past, you've heard me complain about Nidus before, is the fact that I always felt like I was a bit trapped into using his one continuously over and over again. I felt like the gameplay with Nidus was very repetitive, and I was just like, meh. Not really excited about all of that. However, what I'm feeling with Nidus's current state, using the Insatiable augment, is the fact that I'm less worried about keeping up stacks because of the fact that I have so many stacks to use. And in all honesty, I feel like this makes you a little bit more daring, because you will end up going invincible several times. Like, if they end up killing you and they end up eating through some of your stacks, it's fine, because you can build up your stacks even faster. And that's the one thing that I kept in mind when I was playing. I was like, you don't have to worry about it. You're already at max stacks. With this augment, you get to max stacks so quickly that you're just not as afraid to kind of, replace your replace your, I guess, your fourth ability. You're not so worried about that, and at the same time, you don't feel super trapped, because of the fact that you're pretty much, especially at higher levels, you're pretty much gonna be at max stacks constantly. So look at that, we're already at 99, just stomp once and we're already maxed out again. I could just go in and melee, right, and just deal a shit ton of damage through that, not necessarily having to worry about using stomp over and over again and getting that pinky worn down. So that's definitely one of the things that I absolutely love about this augment. I'm just like, it just feels so freaking strong, not because of the fact that you can get stacks fast, but because of the fact that you literally get a little bit of freedom when it comes to your actual gameplay. You're no longer just stuck in that pinky smash over and over again, because you can build everything up so quickly. You're like, oh, I'm at max stacks now. If I want to pop a couple heads using my gun or a nullifier, a nullifier bubble. And that's what I was actually doing. You'll see that in the gameplay coming up. But, I didn't feel bad, like, popping a nullifier bubble and, shooting him in the head. No big deal. Because of the fact that literally, I could just, like, I didn't need the stacks. And that's probably one of the greatest things that I love about this mod. So let's take one more look at this mod real fast before we take a close look at the build. As you can see, Nidus has a 60% chance of generating an additional mutation stack whenever he gains one while standing in the ravenous infestation. So you have to stand in the ravenous area. So now, as you can see here from the build, we do have Umbra Vitality and Umbra Fiber in there. Unfortunately, there was no way that I could fit in the last Umbra mod, the Power Strength mod. What is it called? Umbra Intensified. There's just no way that I could do that, mainly because of the fact that if I slotted it in, I wouldn't even have space for Insatiable, and I would have to, like, basically trash a good chunk of my build. So Fortunately, we couldn't do that. However, we still do get a boost in health. We get about 110 additional health, and we get a boost to armor. I think that's like a 27, 20, something around there. Like a 20% boost to armor, so that's definitely nice. I'm also running double grace. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about double grace. I might do a single grace and not an equilibrium, an energize. We'll see how that all feels, but as you can see, we have Insatiable slotted in. We've got transient fortitude and power drift. The reason that I put both of those two in is mainly because of the fact that I like the 90% damage reduction that you get from your umbilical cord ability. Listen, I don't remember what abilities are called anymore. I'm too old for that. As you can see, I do have Energy Siphon in here, as well as Hunter's Adrenaline and Streamline. And here's the thing, and I'm just gonna be frank with you. All of the people that are out there that tell you, oh, you don't need efficiency on Nidus. If you need to spam energy pads in order for your build to work, then your build doesn't work. Okay? Just gonna say that. I make usable builds here, builds that you can actually play around with and don't have to rely on crutches like energy pads. Don't get me wrong, I don't run Zeneric on this build, but if you did feel like you need to run Zeneric on this build, that's totally fine. That's a mechanic that's in game. I personally feel like I might need it just a little bit because even with Streamline in and Hunter's Adrenaline and Energy Siphon, there are some times that with Virulence, you don't hit enough enemies to get a good amount of energy back. Or here's the thing, you larva up your enemies, you get them all balled up, or you're sitting there smashing one and you're like, shit, I don't have enough energy to get Virulence off. And this is why I say that you need some efficiency, okay? Because you can't get energy back if you have no energy to stomp your enemies, okay? It's just common sense. That's how the ability works. You don't get the discount, you don't get the energy refund unless you actually hit those enemies, okay? Just putting that out there into the universe. Then Prime Continuity, because I don't want to have to recast freaking Ravenous every 2 seconds. I don't want to have to recast the umbilical cord every few seconds. So that's definitely how my setup has been. It's worked wonders for me. You could toss Energy Siphon if you're gonna run like Energize or something there and maybe put in some corrosive rejection, but that's how it is. Now, if you weren't going to run Insatiable, one of the things that I would do is you would have to, like, literally everything's polarized. So you would have to unpolarize that Insatiable, and you would have to add in like maybe a dash. You could probably go ahead and add in like an Augur Secrets, which would, not Augur Secrets, Augur Reach, because that would fit in quite nicely, but you would still have to form it. And that's the issue with these Umbra mods. Number one, you need more than one slotted into your build to make it worthwhile. And in my brain, I'm almost thinking, maybe should I have left in normal Steel Fiber and put in Umbral, the Umbral Power Strength? I don't know, but this is the variation that I'm currently running with. If you guys want to make your own tweaks, feel free to do so, because again, every build is individual, and make do with what you can. And if you feel like using Umbral, the Umbral Intensify is better for you, fantastic, instead of Umbral Fiber, whatever you like. Feel free to adjust this any way you like, and let's go ahead and jump into some tips and tricks on how to use this. Alrighty, so Future Rob popping in here real quick because you know what, I haven't done a glyph giveaway on this channel for quite some time, so I figured that I would go ahead and do a bit of a social media mashup. Now, if you want to get your hands on one of my glyphs, be sure to watch the latest contact review video on my second channel and pick out which ones are your favorites. Make sure to let me know exactly what the name is. I actually have it written up in the top corner so that you know which one to refer to. Then go ahead and @ me on Twitter, so @agayGuyPlays, and let me know which one is your favorite and what platform you're on. If you are a part of the first 50, then go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and send a glyph your way. If all of this sounds confusing to you, I'll leave the directions down in the description box below just so that you can participate. Regardless, let's go ahead and pass it on back to Pastor Rob. Boop! Now, let me just tell you, I did not think that I would like this mod as much as I did, but holy fuck. Insatiable has made me feel more excited to play Nidus, and like I had said before, I definitely always felt trapped having to press 1 over and over and over again in order to build my stacks. But now, because of the fact that I'm getting stacks so quickly, I feel like there's more gunplay, there's more melee play. It just feels better overall to play him. However, one of the things that I do kind of want to stress to you guys is make sure that you're using your umbilical cord, and make sure that you're placing your ravenous area where you can hit the most enemies at once. Like, you need to position yourself well. Like, if you know that there's a spawn point on this side and there's a spawn point on this side, try to place your, like, ravenous right here so that you have a clear line of sight to both of those sites. Because the thing is, you're kind of not super mobile, right? You're kind of planted in one area, and you can't, you don't really want to move from that area. Now, of course, once you've maxed out your stacks, bitch, feel free to do whatever the hell you like. You can run around, you can stomp around, whatever the hell you want to do. And the cool thing about this is you don't feel so bad spending some of your stacks on your, like, umbilical cord. Like, let's say you're moving through a room. You can latch an umbilical cord on somebody, and then you can go ahead and move into another room, ratchet onto somebody else, even though it's only been a couple seconds, because you know you can get your stacks back very, very quickly. In addition to that, because of the fact that you're, you know, up front and center, the great thing is, your, what do you call it, the maggots that spawn from your ravenous, they do a great amount of CC. You'll be able to spot enemies very, very quickly, and you'll be able to take them down very quickly in your own choice, which is definitely nice. At the same time, it provides a good amount of CC for your team. I don't know, it just feels... It feels comfortable. It's like you've made that area your home. It's like you're infesting the place and you're like, but it's mine now. So it's definitely a great feeling for that. In all honesty, I was a little bit worried about actually going through with, like, you know, putting Umbra Mods on other Warframes, mainly because of the fact that, ooh, I would have to format everything, but I actually feel pretty good about this build. I'm looking at it like, this is not bad, and I usually don't like to polarize with the claw polarities, but it definitely feels super worth it. That's the only downside about this setup, is literally, if you want to make any adjustments, you have to reformat them. Which definitely kind of sucks, but this has definitely felt good in, like, a lot of survivals. The only thing that I have to say is, if you are in a survival and you're facing up escalating enemies, you guys know all of the footage that I put up for these kind of things are always going to be in Mott. Mott has that 4 times damage multiplier because it is considered a T4 node. 4 times? 8 times? I don't know. Somebody put it in the comment section because I don't want to look it up. But I know that there's a damage multiplier that's associated with it. Regardless, just keep in mind that you're not technically invincible. You get a little bit of leeway because you've built up so many stacks that, you know, if you die, you go into that temporary undying mode, and then you come back, right? Just make sure that you're keeping your umbilical cord fairly close to you. And when I say close to you, I don't necessarily mean like, oh, you have to be physically close, but you have to be able to watch those areas, because especially if you're going against a faction that has nullifiers, one of the biggest things that is a pain in the butt is if a nullifier comes through and nullifies that umbilical corded enemy, and then you lose that 90% damage reduction. Then all of a sudden you're taking chunks of damage and you're like, where did this come from? Remember that if a nullifier is coming, either take the nullifier out or go ahead and swap your umbilical cord to an enemy that's not in their pathing. It's better to lose 1 stack than it is to lose 15 from your undying. Even though you can get them back pretty quick, it's just better safe than sorry if you're going to go and do something that's a little bit more extended. Aside from that, there's a lot of talk about this, you know, being better for exterminates and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't feel like he still fits on exterminates or captures. It's just that, first of all, he has to build the first 3, then he has to go ahead and lay down the ravenous, then he's got to pull enemies to the ravenous, then he's got to do the stomp. So I still don't feel like this mod makes him, I don't want to say viable, but makes him optimal. There's a good term. It doesn't make him optimal for those quick missions, but if you were really dissuaded from using him before because you felt like his playstyle was very much 2 and then 1 and then 1 and then 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 1 and then, you know, it's like just a lot of just ability spamming over and over, you're free. You're free. And as you can see here in the videos, now all of those weapons that I have ribbons on, that I spent either too much money or too much Kuva rolling, we're good. We're good. So celebrate. I'm having a lot of fun with Nidus. I'm probably going to end up starting to run him again. Just because now I feel like I got some freedom. But that about does it for me for now. Let me know how you guys feel down in the comments below about this Insatiable mod. What are your experiences? Have you found it better in Exterminates, or are you right there with me where it's still a little too slow? Regardless, that about does it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!